Anthony Grossi, Dennis Bernstein, I'm Dave Pagnotta, here with our continued coverage of the Columbus Blue Jackets here in Stockholm, brought to you, of course, by Fan Exchange. And guys, it's the beginning of the season, a couple days into it already, and this is a bit of a silly season for everybody as we come out and make our predictions on who we think is going to make the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll reserve my comments to the end, but let's start off here on my right, Anthony, and let's share with everyone who you think is going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals this season.
Well, in the West, I got to go back with ever so dangerous Detroit Red Wings. I think last year they were very hurt with man games down, and I think this year, if they stay healthy, they added Mike Modano, which is a vet. I think he's going to have a big year this year. Howard Annette is the only questionable thing, but he played very well in the playoffs. I think he's going to be the #1 guy for a long stretch here. And keeping Lindstrom, you can't go wrong with Lindstrom in the back end. He's got a lot of wisdom and knowledge of the game, and I think they'll benefit from that.
No question. I mean, just sorry to cut you off there, but the veteran presence of a Nicholas Lidstrom and a Brian Rafalski on the back end can help any organization. There's no question about that. But what about the addition of, or the reacquisition rather, of Yuri Hudler?
Absolutely, Yuri Hudler back from the KHL is going to be huge. He's a depth guy, and he's a hard-working player, and it'll show. It showed 3 years ago when he was on the team in the playoffs, and they will benefit from him being back as well.
Winning goal in the Stanley Cup Finals when they won 3 seasons ago. What about the Eastern Conference?
The Eastern side, I'm going to have to go with New Jersey. I like what they've done. They got Volchenkov in the back end and signing Kovalchuk to a long-term deal. Kovalchuk Finally, yeah, one of the best players in the world. If Brodeur stays healthy and is good between the pipes, and I'm sure he will be, he's a consistent goalie. His track record shows that. I think they'll be right in the mix and right in the thick of things.
And he's getting up there in age, so this might be his last hurrah, technically speaking, with the New Jersey Devils, even though he probably still has another 2-3 seasons to go. But Dennis, Western Conference boy right here. Let's start in the West, your home territory.
I'll go with the Vancouver Canucks. I think it's their year. I like the additions of Hamhuis and Keith Ballard from Florida on defense. They had the reigning MVP in Henrik Sedin. Daniel Sedin should be around for a full season. They were the second highest scoring team in the league last year. I think it's their year. I like the way they played against the Kings last year. I saw them personally in Los Angeles last year. I think they leveraged that appearance. I don't think Chicago's as strong, or Detroit. I think they're a little too old. So I like Vancouver to get to the finals.
A little shot there at Ant's pick.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But what about, there's a little controversy over Cody Hodgson coming back, expected to make the team this year, but he got sent down to the AHL. Is that a concern for the Canucks?
I think it shows how deep they are. Absolutely along the forward wall. I think they're going to score enough goals. It's going to be the defense, which they've addressed in the offseason. It's going to come down to Roberto Luongo as well. He's got to step up. This has got to be a year for him. They stripped the C off him. I think to take off that pressure in a Canadian city to do that, I think was a smart move by Mike Gillis. And I just think it's their time, it's their year.
And on the East?
I like the Pittsburgh Penguins. I like, again, what they did on defense. Mihalik's added, Paul Martin's added. I think they really needed to make that team younger and more fleet of foot on defense. You still have Fleury, you still have Gino, you still have Sid Crosby. I just like the way they put this team together. I think they get back to the finals after a year's absence.
No Bill Guerin on that club, so you lose that veteran presence, and you miss Jordan Staal at the beginning of the season as well, as he's going to be out for about 5 to 6 more weeks.
Yeah, I discount that. He'll be ready for the playoffs. That's a deep, solid, smart veteran team. I like them. I like them better than Jersey. I like them better than anybody else in the East, and I think they return and face Vancouver in the finals.
I think the Pittsburgh Penguins are definitely going to be a team you don't want to mess with this season, but I'm going to have to agree with Anthony in terms of the Eastern Conference. I think the New Jersey Devils are going to be a very dangerous, offensively potent club, and they brought in a guy like an Anton Volchenkov to shut down the opposition. So I'm going with them in the East. And in the Western Conference, I'm taking a bit of a surprise pick. I'm going to Dennis's backyard here, and I'm picking the LA Kings. I think they're going to make a couple additions. Dean Lombardi is looking to add that secondary scoring, that added offense to that lineup. So I'm thinking they're going to be able to pull that off, surprise a few teams, and we're going to see LA and New Jersey in the finals. Cup winner?
You have to go with New Jersey.
I concur.
The Cup comes back to Canada. Vancouver Canucks win this year.
That won't be a bad thing.
All our guys in BC will definitely be happy to hear that. Dennis Bernstein, Anthony Grossi, I'm David Pagnotta. We will catch you a little bit later with our continued coverage here from Stockholm.